All right, ladies and gentlemen, after that spirited, I wouldn't even call it a debate, but I am surviving, and I am here to welcome in the Malzberg panel. Don't forget, Bobby Jindal will be joining us after the panel, live from the campaign trail, exclusively here on Newsmax Television. Jane Velez-Mitchell, founder, JaneUnchained.com, author of the New York Times bestseller Exposed, The Secret Life of Jodi Arias, and Adam Thompson, senior partner and owner of the law offices of Adam M. Thompson, criminal defense attorney, syndicated talk host also. All right, let me start with you, Adam, because you're an attorney. I see that Barack Obama has okayed expediting a $29 million payout to agencies, to the Charleston victims. I'm a little confused. I mean, but believe me, I'm in no way trying to diminish what happened to that church in Charleston. I'm just confused. Why are the victims' families, that's who would get the money, I guess, to correct me if I'm wrong again, why would they be getting $29 million? I don't understand. The
figure seems pretty high when you think about it, but what value can you put on a human life?
Why are they getting, in other words, every time someone's murdered, the families get
What happens is,
I don't even know
usually there's a party that you sue and you recover from either that party directly or an insurance carrier, right? In a situation like this, the states, the federal government had set up a crimes victim compensation board. What happens is, when there's really no party to collect from, the government puts something in place where victims of heinous crimes like this have a way to get some kind of recovery and some relief. So Jane, that's what this is all based on.
Well, Jane, having said that, if that's the case, this $29 million payout is a lot more than what was given to the victims of the Aurora, Colorado shooting in 2012, which was $2.9 million. Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, $1.5 million, and Boston Marathon bombing, $8.3 million. When this wasn't called an act of terror, so I don't understand the disparity.
Well, actually, I think it jumped up to $14.3 million for the Sandy Hook victims. There is no way to put a price tag on the loss of a priceless life. But I'll tell you one thing, Steve, there are a ton of bogus government programs out there that are wasting millions and millions of tax dollars on idiotic experiments and all sorts of unnecessary programs. This is one place where I say spend all the money we can. These people have suffered an unimaginable loss, and I say the one thing you should do is give money to victims of violent crime and the families of victims of violent crime.
And Adam, I don't have a problem with that at all, except I'd like to see consistency, and I don't know why it took well over a year, and in some cases a couple of years in the events that I mentioned, when this is happening like in a week. I mean, I just don't understand why one seems more important than the other.
Well, the problem is, we're talking about very huge cases that received huge mass publicity through the media. You know how many countless cases there are of victims that their cases languish for years and years, even a decade, and when the smoke clears, they get a very minimal recovery?
But all these cases
I'm glad
were in the
these
media.
Cases, right? Yeah. That's the point I'm making. As an attorney, I'm doing this for over 25 years. I do tons of civil rights cases and represent victims just like these. And you battle and battle to get these cases to go forward and get them fair compensation. I'm glad, like Jane said, that this is being addressed. And as you said, I don't know why in these other cases it took a year. They should be resolved quickly, let the families move on and get relief, and they should get as much as possible.
All right, Jane, let's move on to another aspect of the talk after the shooting, and that's the Confederate flag. There's a USA Today survey, Suffolk University USA Today survey, 70, and this again shows to me how out of touch the media is. 70% of respondents say they do not want the federal government imposing a ban on the sale or manufacture of the Confederate flag. Also, 42% and 42% agreed with Nikki Haley's decision to want to take the flag down from South Carolina, where it is right now. And only 34% said that it's racist. This is in the South, said that it's racist. But in regard to whether the survey found 38% of Americans believe the Charleston attack was a reflection of a larger problem of race in America. So if you read these numbers and you watch the news coverage of it, the news people are obviously, whether it's on abortion or this or so many other issues, guns, They're living in an alternate universe, these news anchors and these TV networks, because they don't reflect what the people of America are saying when they're asked.
Well, let me say a couple of things. One, I think it's a trick question, because the question really isn't, should the government ban the right of companies to manufacture something? That really brings in a whole bunch of other issues. But the real question is, should the Confederate flag be flying over the South Carolina State House? And a lot of people are extremely offended because all taxpayers pay for the maintenance of government buildings. Why should a racist symbol be flying over a state house? So that's really the question. If you ask that question, you might get a totally different answer.
Well, the question was Nikki Haley, following her calls for the flag to be removed. 42% of Americans at large agreed, and 42% disagreed. When it was asked specifically to Southerners, 49% said the flag represents Southern history. Only 34% said it's racist. So, who are you to speak for the people of those states that have the flag?
Look, this flag has become a symbol of
To
hate.
who? To who? See, not to the American people.
Yes,
to you and the
American
media.
people.
Not
to
according
the
to
American
this.
people. It absolutely has. A woman climbed up. She actually risked arrest, and I think she did get arrested. Climbed up
She
that
should be
flagpole and
arrested.
pulled it down.
She should,
People
Adam.
don't do that because they're feeling, this.
Well,
may or may not
Adam,
be
I guess,
offensive.
wait, Jane made
It
a
was
point.
the battle flag of the Civil War. They lost. Slavery was abolished, thank God. And why are we flying a symbol of
Jane.
slavery above
Jane,
a state house?
Adam, Jane made her point. One woman climbed up and got the flag off, so I guess it is a symbol of racism.
Listen, the bottom line is this. Individuals have the right to free speech. If they want to purchase a Confederate flag, as stupid as it may be, and as much as you may disagree with it, it's their choice.
Coming back, don't go away.
It shouldn't be over.
So we're continuing with the panel with Jane Velez-Mitchell and Adam Thompson. That was a little preview of what we're going to discuss here now. The New York Times last January, along with many other media outlets, refused to print pictures or images of cartoons depicting Muhammad, right? Yet the New York Times had no trouble putting this up. Now let's put this up here again. That is the Pope. That is Pope Benedict and the 16th, and it's made from condoms. Made from condoms. And today in an editorial, actually it was an editorial, Margaret Sullivan actually wrote a piece saying that I don't think these situations are equivalent, blah, 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 blah. What about it, Jane? I mean, how do you defend, putting that up, that piece of trash, obviously an insult to Catholics all over the world, but not putting up the Muhammad cartoons?
Well, my first question, were they used condoms? Let's hope not. But I would make the point, nobody's laughing, okay, that was a joke, a bad one, admittedly. But I would make the point that the reason the New York Times did not publish the Prophet Muhammad cartoons was probably really because they're scared of a terrorist attack, as they should be. I mean, we're all targets, especially institutions of journalism, as we saw in Paris. Why do something that could provoke an attack that would see innocent people killed? To the credit of Catholics, when they're upset about something, they don't respond by trying to gun people down.
All right, but at the time they didn't say we're not printing it because we're afraid. They got on their moral high horse. So if that's what you're going to do, Adam, shouldn't you be consistent?
Let me tell you, I'm so sick of this double standard. It's really journalistic cowardness. If you're going to want to really advance, say, art, which is what they're claiming these things fall in the realm of or out of, you show all of it, okay? They should have aired all the cartoons and all the different art forms and let the public decide. That's what it is. Otherwise, it's just pure censorship. And like I said, I don't like that the Times, really censored the Mohammed picture, because I think that's playing to a double standard, and that's not a good thing at all.
So Hillary, we got 3,000 emails, 3,000 pages of emails released today out of the 55,000. We find out that Sidney Blumenthal played a much larger role in Hillary's State Department. After the Obama administration told her he cannot be in her State Department, she got email after email, recommendations. She solicited his advice more than she told the explanation she gave way back was, just an old friend of mine. He was much more hands-on. She also didn't know when cabinet meetings were. She wasn't invited to cabinet meetings, apparently. She showed up when there weren't meetings, and she thought there were meetings. I mean, it shows a very non-confident and Secretary of State, to say the least. 30 seconds each, Jane.
All right. Oh my gosh, she didn't know how to work a fax machine.
I didn't even bring that up. You did. I didn't say that.
Somebody to get iced tea.
I said,
oh,
I didn't bring that up. You did.
Well, let me tell you something. She is doing a jig today because of the gift that Donald Trump handed her by insulting a lot of people who might have gone Republican in this election and are now going to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, all the illegal Mexicans were going to go Republican.
No. Oh, he insulted all Mexicans.
He certainly did not.
He did not insult just illegal Mexicans. He handed her a gift. He should have gone to Tiffany's and wrapped it in a bow.
Adam, obviously Jane doesn't want to address my question. You could.
Yeah, it says, I don't know how to switch to Trump and the comments about Mexico. But the bottom line is this with those emails. We talked about it when we first covered this, and we talked about this months ago, Steve. I said this is going to turn into like a Sony hack job because all these embarrassing emails are going to come out that reflect on her ability to function.
What embarrassing?
Understand, these are the ones she wanted to come out. She erased the other ones, so imagine what's in them. Governor Bobby Jindal is next. Don't go away. Thank you, guys.